Why would you do that to us, Elliot? All right, here we are in the game. I hope you guys weren't offended by my profanity. And I also don't know which team is which. Now I know. Scurry Hard, the blue team.
Yep.
Up against Still Refusing to Die, the red team. And we are already seeing action materializing on the minimap.
All the big guns are going to say hello to each other in the middle of the map. Ain't that right, Clutch? You're showing us right now.
The heavy tanks are waiting to do the engagement to see if they can accomplish the impossible. Some of these teams, I'm sure, are having a lot of nerves moving into the final rounds here for the first qualifier. A lot of heavies were chosen. They are both in the city here. Light tanks positioning to try to get any type of scouting maneuvers to the rear of the map. As you can notice, the different tanks that are involved up here trying to see if any type of red movement will happen towards this section of the map, which happens a lot on Ruinberg. However, they're all in the city right now. No engagement so far.
The only difference in the team's tank selection is actually that there is a T-69 on Team of Refusing to Die, and there is a T-32 on Scurry Hard. What's the difference, Clutch?
T-69s, again, the mobility and the firepower at those mediums are definitely a wise choice. We've actually seen a lot of those chosen instead of the T-32s. The T-32, personally, my favorite tank. So right now, it's going to depend really where the engagements land. When the heavy tanks can get flanked, those T-69s can move in. If not, it's going to be an HP battle against the T-69s and the other tanks.
Still Refusing to Die has set up a strong defensive position and then said, nope, we ain't moving. They're going to hold the line. At least for the time being, there is no movement at all anywhere on the map. Both teams have drawn their lines in the sand and said, I dare you. As the first spot does take place, I'm not sure who that was that got spotted out. I believe it was one of the IS-3s.
It's just the IS-3s waving at each other like, hello, guys.
We have IS-3s too.
Love your tank. Looking good today. But wait until we're done with this battle. Then you're not looking all that fly anymore, son.
Since we didn't get to see the tank selection screen, let's go ahead and go to it real quick. AMX 5100s, two of them. IS-3s, T-32 and T-1 Cunninghams on one side. AMX 5100s, IS-3s, a T-69 and a T-1. Again, like I mentioned, that T-69 versus T-32. It's an autoloader versus the amazing power of that front turret. It is able to have 298 millimeters worth of armor. So Squirrelin, if he is able to be in a hold down position, that means if his hull is covered by any type of debris or cover in the game, such as he is right now, he's almost impossible to kill.
Can't. The only damage would be to the hatch, and if he's above you, you just can't hurt him.
I think our MD Kill, our little T1 right now from Still Refusing to Die, might be able to spot a couple of the big guns real soon. He's slowly but steady moving forward. Guys, like a turtle.
I hope there's no one around this corner. And whoa, enemy spotted, and immediately he's going to hit the brakes, back it up. He says, I don't think my T1 can hang with that AMX 5100.
You can, man, as long as you believe. Right, Clutch?
It's quite enough to believe.
Clutch is like, no.
A T1 Cunningham can penetrate the rear of a tank and can cause engine fire, depending on if the RNG. So don't count it out.
Depending on whether or not he brought his Molotov cocktails.
Yeah, exactly. But obviously, you don't want to have a T1 Cunningham up against a heavy tank because it would go down so easily. You want to stay out of the fire as much as possible. But right now, they're using those T1s to scout the different areas. So Son of Hail is hiding in this bush here.
I feel like those IS-3s from Scurry Hard are slowly but steadily leaping forward. Just not too overeager. But I do feel that they perhaps want to make a move to the other side of the church if they can somehow make the jump.
Still a lot of standoff. We can see very clearly that these teams have chosen to cut the city in half and say, this is where we fight. This is where somebody will die.
Yeah, it's a no man's land right here. If they can get any type of targeted fire going across this way against the blue team, the same for the blue team against the red team, they'll definitely want to take that chance, especially if they can kill a tier 8. But for right now, nobody wants to take that gamble. However, these tier 8s from the rear could actually move back and try to get the flank around on this side. However, this tier 1 tank, or that light tank, will be able to see any kind of movement.
Is in position to spot any kind of flanking maneuvers, but that is what we saw River of Blood do in their game on this map. So in their battle on this map. So let's not rule out that possibility. Still, neither side willing to commit to any engagement. It's been 5 minutes. 5 minutes remain.
I feel that pro teams have just made an agreement that the first 5 minutes we take a good position and then the game really starts.
You know, your crew has got to have a chance to eat lunch, to get ready for the festivities.
Take a sip on that cola. That's important too.
Or eat your chocolate bar if you're, or coffee if you're Russian, because Russians hate happiness.
A baguette or two if you're in an AMX 5100.
Yes, they actually roll on baguettes. They don't go on fire. Just the oven inside.
You know, I saw a picture on the Reddit World of Tanks, and it was a number of French mimes, and they were loading a baguette.
I saw
into
that.
it. That was beautiful.
Stefano would not be pleased. Stefano, a
4
very
minutes.
famous StarCraft 2 player, guys.
4 minutes to go on the clock, guys. I can only imagine that soon one of these IS-3s is going to move forward. They got a beautiful angle on either side. Oh, I saw something move. I saw shadows.
I think it was just a bird flying by overhead.
No, it's the T1 Cunningham. It's about as big as a bird, just moving back and forth here.
And as scary as the bird.
But noticing the positioning of the IS-3s, this is a great position for HP sharing. Shots fired! Rylick gets the kill against that Tier 1. They're down a scout.
Oh.
Actually has no real impact on the ultimate outcome of the game, with the exception of the vision that is being denied. That Tier 1 tank going down does not affect the draw situation. You have to have at least an 8-point tier advantage to win in the event of draw.
Don't you feel that if all the heavy tanks right now from still refusing to die move forward, run through that alley, they should be able to pick up 1 or 2 heavies before Team Scurry is able to reposition?
Possibly, but we have to realize they don't have the same information that we have. We have the luxury
Oh.
of the bird's eye view. Squirrel Tag, what are you doing, man?
Well, he gets the kill against Squirrel Tag, but now we're going to see Dodama moving in just in time to get the shots. Beautiful positioning on the IS-3s here by taking the frontal assault.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Angling very nicely so that they can deflect any real shots. And now we're seeing the first real movement, the first real engagements of this battle. Vision dropping there on Dodama momentarily, and he is going to peek around this corner. It's all about the angling. It's all about using that spaced armor, bouncing your opponent's shots, and then dealing damage back at the expense of their ammunition. Rylick and Dodama both trying to get, a great shot, but no damage dealt. Nobody able to really connect.
Dodama and Rylick trying to get in a great position to counterfire against Ghost 367.
The T-32 is perhaps trying to set up an evil plan.
Yeah, he's trying to set up a great flank there and able to scout the rear of what's happening at that frontal assault lines. That's crucial, so they know not to peek out too far and get completely bombarded.
Swing and a miss as that T-32 shoots high over a Stringley. Not able to connect at all. Justin Ward, the only real player in the game who's taken any substantial damage, who's not a T1.
Oh, he's still taking some real damage, though. They're going to try to engage on this T-32. Meanwhile, the IS-3s are having a battle as well on the south side.
And look at Blazzy firing off with that autoloader, getting a great angle on his opponent. Squirrelin does take some damage, but that turret's going to bounce a lot. Here come the IS-3s around the corner. Squirrelin might go down. He's got 212 hit points left. One shot, and he does go down. That is a decisive lead.
But these AMXs are so exposed as well. The IS-3 is getting a couple of good shots
Justin Ward goes down, and that's going to even things up once again. We've got, yeah, it is. The second tier 8 goes down. That does mean that Scurry Hard in the lead. It is now on still refusing to die to make something happen here. If it draws out, they will be the losers. 1 minute remains. They got to make something happen.
Stringley's going to have to absorb some damage, man. He's still the healthy IS-3. He might be able to get a massive shot off over here. Now the Doma is ready for them.
He knows exactly what's up, positioning very well. He's hauled down right now. They're not going to be able to hurt him. Stringley is leading the charge around the corner. Where's Dodama's teammates? What are they doing? We still don't know. It looks like they might be flanking around on the mini-map.
If the Doma falls, everything kind of turns around. He gets a good shot off on Scurry. Okay, there is the AMX 5100 as well. Backup fire.
Big shots by Kaneka as he manages to take out one of the AMX 5100s. Stringley is still alive, but both of his teammates have gone down. Scurry Hard looks like they are going to be buttoning up this game. Blazzy trying to blast away, and Stringley completely surrounded. This is what you call a bad day. Completely surrounded and goes down. The final T1 will fall as well, and what started slow ends in fireworks as Team Scurry Hard takes our first map there in this best of 5 series. That was very exciting. I would love to get a look at the team score if we can, and we can see just how clutch those autoloaders were. Blazzy, 2,151 damage. Kaneka able to connecta for 3 kills and 1,100 damage of his own. Very nicely done there. Scurry Hard doing work. And I don't know, man. I gotta say, Scurry Hard, they looked good. It was a pretty evenly matched game. but Scurry Hard outmaneuvering their opponents there.
I think it was a really nice trap there by Scurry Hard, sending in that T-32. He's like, oh, don't worry guys, I'm here, I'm trying to get a shot off. Oh, okay, no, I can't really, so I'm going to back off. And then those AMX 5100s were kind of chasing him up. And yes, they were able to take out one tank, but then they lost both AMX 5100s. And then it was all the only IS-3 left remaining. And the only AMX that did survive was so low on HP, or was the T-69, that they couldn't really do much anymore. I thought it was beautiful play by Team Scurry Hard.
Absolutely. Clutch, what did you see there in that game that was ultimately determinant of the outcome? Is determinant a word?
We'll make it a word. We'll make it a word now. Well, in this engagement, they waited until the right time to strike, and that was a blue team. They came down this alleyway past the church and were able to get a couple kills against some of the red heavy tanks. Now, at the same time, the red tanks were trying to do a counterflank by coming into this section and trying to see if they could pick off any type of blue tanks that moved in. However, from the rear, and this is very, very crucial when you try to do any sort of big offensive push, especially with IS-3s, is you have backups in order to set up a second flank. On the blue team, they were able to go around the 3 line here, and were able to move into a great position in order to counter where the red team is trying to get them. One of the plays was Dodama. He was in that IS-3, and he waited until the red team pushed in to try to get the kill on him. And from the other flank, the blue team was able to move in accordingly and get the kill against him. It was a great patient play by the blue team, and they were able to get the score.
Gotta love it, man. Slow starters, but exciting finish there. Our second map is going to be Prokhorovka. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with that when we get back. Welcome back to the Wargaming.net League's North American World of Tanks competition. We are in our final day of qualifier number 1, and 4 teams will finish up the day with a spot in the WGL North America competition.
That is right, Ben. We already saw River of Blood qualifying earlier today. Those boys are looking fine as they played some excellent tank, or perhaps they have some girls on the team as well. I'm completely unaware of this. You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
And right now we are in our second best of 5. Why you laugh?
I got to share a funny story because you mentioned girls.
Yes.
If you guys watched the qualifier last night, you probably saw the antics of a tanker named Armor, who swung an amazing comeback for his team in like a 1v5 or a 1v4 situation, managing to turn a bad situation around and clutch it really hard. Sending the series off to a 5th and final match. Between the 4th and 5th game, Armor was talking in the chat lobby. He was like, oh man, chicks are going to love me for this. I'm so clutch. I'm going to get some serious loving tonight, guys. And then in the next map, he drove out in the middle of 5 guys and died instantly. Came back to the game lobby and said, no love for me, boys. Armor.
For a second, I thought you were going to say that Armor was a girl. That would have been a really nice story.
Well, it would have been a nice story, but I promise you, Armor, there's fangirls out there waiting for you. Come back to the second qualifier. I'm sure you guys are going to make it through. Let's take a look at the tank selection screen on Prokhorovka to see what we're in store for here as we head towards our second map, our second battle in this best of 5 between Scurry Hard and Still Refusing to Die. Clutch, why don't you take us through it?
Yeah, on Team 1 we have a T-69, then 2 T-1 Cunninghams, an AMX 5100, a WZ-132, and a T-69. On the opposite team, Team 2, a T-50-2, AMX 1390s being chosen, another T-50-2, a T-2 Light, and a T-69. Going back to the damage output of the AMX 1390s, it actually has a higher alpha, has a lower alpha damage compared to WZ-132s, but at higher penetration. So that's the difference of firepower between the 2 vehicles, the WZ-132 and the AMX 1390.
Well, rounding out the selections
Lorraine,
well,
155-50.
Heavy one as well, right? Tier 6 artillery.
That is a big...
Better get some shots up.
If it connects with any of the lighter tanks, maybe with any of those tanks, it's going to do some serious damage.
But this is quite interesting to see, because in the previous time we saw this map being played out, we didn't really see any of the really heavy hitters, the AMX 5100s or the IS-3 or the T-69 being chosen. All those guys were going for the WZ-32 or for those AMX 3090s. So Klaus, why do you think they're doing it? Are they doing it wrong or not? I want to hear the verdict.
I don't think they're doing it wrong. Like I said before, the AMX 5100 has more hit points. It is a quick tank. It has a great cannon on it. However, it doesn't have the best armor. So
they caught us looking, man. They caught us looking.
Yeah, the surround to be able to be surrounded by a bunch of AMX 1390s and enough firepower, it will go down quickly. But that Lorraine has great accuracy and very quick aim time. So that is a great pick in order to pinpoint those different light tanks rolling around.
You know how I feel about this situation? there's like a rhino or an elephant standing there and a couple of bees swinging around them, stinging them. Ain't that right, guys?
Well, if anything, Savage G showed us earlier that an AMX 1390 is one hell of a bumblebee.
Yep.
Oh,
It
yes.
stings really, really hard. The Russian map is coming up next. Join us. It is time to hashtag roll out. Guys, remember, please send us your tweets. Let us know what you think about the broadcast, the games. What do you want to see? What do you want to see more of? Twitter.com/WGLNA. Our broadcasters tonight, Clutch08, Rotterdam08, Mr. Bitter TV, and, of course, Frodan on Twitter. Let us know how you're enjoying the show. Clutch, what's happening, brother?
All right, looks like the Lorraine is going to take the southern position over to the right behind the hill, just over the train tracks. That is a good position to take. He's going to stay in that position and hopefully not get surrounded by any light tanks trying to push in. On the side of the red team, this one light tank will take this position and see if any blues will try to move into the north. And a big push by the side of the railroad tracks will come from the red team. The heavies could transfer over at this section and get some better cover by the buildings, but that would be a bit of a push. However, because of the HP and the cannons that they have, they could find and destroy those light tanks pretty easily.
Shots fired already, as I think that Lorraine wanted to, I don't know if that was blind fire or what, just checking to see if somebody was sticking the neck out a little bit too far.
He should be able to get a shot off right now, but he's missing it. MD2KO. He actually was a scout in the previous game, playing an WZ32 this time.
Yep, not enjoying the luxury of the autoloader this time around. Squirrel Tag juking for his life, manages to avoid another shot, an MD kill, taking a lot of damage as he traverses the center. Oh, Squirrel Tag again manages to avoid some serious fire. The T-50 not returning any shots at all and still can't get hit. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, Jukes of Hazard.
This guy, he greased up this tank because nothing is connecting. Everything is either reflecting or coming up short altogether. Blasey, in the meantime, has found Ghost on the top half of the map. A little bit of a T1 showdown, or excuse me, T1 versus T2. Finally, Squirrel Tag taking some damage, and he's going to have to trade with his opponent. MD kill, but oh, it's not going to matter.
Wow.
Was that friendly fire that killed that T-50?
Didn't really get any
it wasn't friendly fire. It was a kill. And also the way that he rammed him, if you notice a T-50-2, compared to its weight, it is a very, very fast tank, but at the same time, it is easily rammed. A lot more kills going down.
Whoa, a lot of kills happening at once. Was that one shot from the artillery? No, it wasn't. It was lots of shots happening at lots of different times. And it's kind of hard to assess the situation. What we can say for certain is that Scurry Hard with a decisive lead in this game, enjoying the, yes, no. Are they enjoying the 2 advantage?
We got a little bit of a showdown over here between two T-69. Spell Shot trying to circle around the Doma. The Doma, of course, doesn't want to expose his back to it. But there is an IS-3 in his back as well. I think the Doma is in a world of trouble.
He's trying to make something happen, but Spell Shot's going to get the better of him, and that T-69 coming out on top. But whoa, all of a sudden, Red Base under attack. There's a cap happening somewhere on the map. That's going to force some more movement, as we see Squirrelin under fire from the IS-3 of Justin Ward and the AMX 5100 of Danglin Fury. He's got to be very careful. Arty fire going down, but whiffing.
Oh, that's going to get a pretty big hit there by Squirrel. So the AMX 5100 is immobilized, at least for a split
But he is
second.
going to pop that repair kit, and that will allow him to roll out again. Squirrelin might want to consider moving. That 5100's got way more firepower. IS-3 connects as well. I think that was the artillery landing on that 5100. Great shot there by Son of Hail, raining down on Danglin Fury, and Squirrelin still doing work.
Oh, and he got the final one as well. The IS-3 will fall, and with that pretty much the hopes of refusing to die to tie this battle
Red
up.
Base is under attack, and this could do it. Spell Shot. Wait, no. Never mind.
You're casting the wrong way.
I'm casting the wrong way. It's not going to help anybody. Spell Shot is not going to have any impact on the outcome of this game. Scurry Hard going to take the second map in this best of 5, and will go up 2-0. in this series.
Using the mobility of their quick tanks really well, I'd say. I felt that the heavy tanks, those IS-3 and the AMX 5100, were just never really able to connect those big shots.
Yeah, and that's the name of the game, the type of strategy that you choose. With the AMX 5100, you do have more HP. You can lock down an area longer, but because of the Lorraine 155, being able to land those shots was crucial.
Yep.
Also, the amazing type of strategy that was used to just continually move back and forth, but to move into the enemy position, start the cap, making the red team move out of their positions to find out what's going on, and the Lorraine just raining down anything they could find.
Check out the team score tab here. Son of Hail really showing his worth here. 7 shots fired, only 2 direct hits, but 1,700 damage as a result.
Dangly Fury is still in pain from that shot, 'cause that was a big one.
Dangling Fury is probably going to be walking with a limp.
Yeah. He comes back in the T1 Cunningham. That's how much damage he took. Even if he repairs the AMX 5100, all that's left is a Leichtrekker. Tier 1. Got to start from the scratch again.
He's got to go back to the L track.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He's going to have to push his tank forward from now on. He's going to need a battle buddy.
Scurry hard, now 1 map away from qualifying for the Wargaming.net League North American World of Tanks competition. We're going to kick it into another short commercial break. When we get back, the 3rd map and what could be the final map of this best of 5 series. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Why can't I do it, Clutch?
You can do it. The Wargaming.net League North America World of Tanks.
Can we see that one more time?
Sure. The Wargaming.net League North America World of Tanks.
Man. Clutch is the guy I love to hate. Because he makes it look so easy. Makes it look so easy. Our 3rd map, our 3rd battle between Scurry Hard and Still Refusing to Die, gonna be Himmelsdorf.
Everyone's favorite map.
Who doesn't love taking the hill on Himmelsdorf?
River of Blood. They just roll through the middle.
Well, yeah, but I mean, come on. They should have taken the hill.
No, they won that. You know, guys, I still had a question about the previous game. We saw that WZ-132 followed that T-52 for a very long time. Do you guys think that was worth it? Because after all, WZ is a pretty valuable asset to the team. Don't you guys think he should have stuck with the real team instead of chasing the guy down?
In hindsight, it definitely didn't help him as he just got picked to pieces out there on the map. That T-50 staying alive for a long time. And ultimately, they traded a Tier 5 for a Tier 8, right?
Yeah, what comes down to it, too, is also when you have to let go. And that's really where we start to see a different level of gameplay. Like, I got to let him go, man. I got to let him go. Now, like I said before, the WZ-132 is a great tank for on-the-move accuracy. But he kept missing those shots. They were so close, but he kept missing that T-50-2. And he was doing his job. He really was keeping away from the enemy.
Here it is.
And, yeah, here it is, exactly. The WZ-132 on the move continually. The same with the T-52. But no shots landing, no track shots landing.
Some of those shots are just terrible. I mean, he makes an honest effort, but he just comes up short, and then he comes up long, and now he's going to go over the hill, and he's going to miss again. And the whole time, he's getting chipped and chipped and chipped.
At that moment, I would have turned around because he's still scouting. He's still being able to position other tanks out there, but he's moving way too far into enemy territory. It's exactly what the T-52 wants.
Yeah.
Knowing when to walk away or let go is very rough, though. We all know this when we play roulette.
We all know this when we play any game.
Anything.
Honestly, it's like you make that choice to commit, and you're just like, I don't care if this is the right idea or not. I'm doing it.
We're going for it.
I have had that
But I do
happen
agree.
so many times.
I felt he was a little rusty. Like, he wanted to kill so badly. I guess every now and then it would have been better to perhaps even stand still, because he would have got him in vision for a good 5-6 seconds. Instead, he just, like, I don't know, kept trying to take the eagle shot, the rolling shot.
Pushed it. He tried to pull a Roddy, tried to kill steal his battle buddy.
It's hard, man. It's hard to be me.
Guys, our next map is Himmelsdorf. Let's jump into the game.
All right, who am I going to follow this time? Ooh.
Here we go.
MDQ is back to being a scout, man.
Well, he was demoted.
Yep, he was the WZ. You guys highlighted it. You guys put him in a bad daylight. No,
His teammates said, "I am not impressed by your performance."
Back to the T1.
In that wait, WZ's not French. Dang, that doesn't work.
It's Chinese.
Well, it would have been awesome if they were French, because all of us do speak French.
We'll see the initial positioning here for the teams. This light tank is going to go up the hill carefully, slowly, but consistently. The same for the blue team. this little tank that could is going to go around the hill. He has a little bit longer to get there, and they could battle out around the castle. The Victor could have a good sight line against what is happening up to the top here on this section to see any type of engagements. We could see a dead tank here, could see a dead tank there, but the positioning right now, it could be anybody's game.
Some serious pressure on the T1s, man.
Yeah.
Who could have ever thought you could be so important as a one team?
They're going to fight for vision over the whole map, and that's going to allow them to relay the positions of their opponents to their teammates. A lot rides on these two T1 scouts.
I have a question right now for Clutch. Why is he turning his back towards the hill?
Because he probably started facing the other direction. Seriously, and it's faster to go backwards up the hill than it is to turn around and go up.
Yeah, but he will take more damage as well.
He will, but as you can see, he's covered by that little slope, so he can
and
just kind
of
of make
course, like
way
his
up.
turret is way closer to the end of the tank, right? Because it's a long tank, so he has way more vision.
Yep.
Yeah, the actual physical hull is not peeking out more than the turret at that type of position. But that's a great question for Rukil to confirm, so I'll have to ask him that tomorrow as well.
Meanwhile, we see just a lot of posturing around the map. I would love to get a large shot of the mini-map so we can see exactly how these teams are positioned and perhaps make some predictions as to how this whole thing's going to...
Oh, we had it. Go back. Well, I mean, I got
somebody tripped over a cord in the production ring.
I got an overall vision of the minimap right now. Still, again, they are just staying in position here. What the blue team could do is they could move up to the tracks, take the train depot, and then push in immediately against the cap point. However,
actually,
the red team, since they're in this position, they have not been able to spot them whatsoever. This could come down to the little tank that could to try to defeat this tank to get any type of spotting on this side.
How come the blue tank is the little tank that could? Why can't it be the red tank?
Well, it could be. I mean, it depends on who wins the engagement. They're both little tanks.
I see where your loyalties
well, guys, either way, it's going to be a really important game for still refusing to die as their tournament life is on the line, man. They want to be part of our regular season. They are down 0-2, and it could all start with Orkus Gdansk taking out the other T1 on the hill.
How did that Russian guy get into an American tank is what I want to know.
Oh, he's a spy, man.
Well, I guess that's why I call him Scurry Hard, because his name is Squirrel Tag for the blue team, T71. He's just hiding out. You'll see this a lot in different engagements. The T1 Cunninghams will have a stare down for a while. One of them will pop out. The other T1 could get a hit on him. And with that cannon firing so quickly, it's just a matter of time before one of them goes down. But again, you know, these type of engagements against the light tanks, it seems small, but they can become incredibly crucial for map control. And knowing where the enemy position is, even by them not scouting what's happening. If you move into an area and you realize, okay, I see nothing here, it means they're on this side of the map. That means the rest of the team to the southwest could push into those train tracks.
Yes, sir. Still a lot of defensive posturing. Nobody taking that first aggressive step yet. And, I really don't expect Still Refusing to Die to do anything crazy here. This is the deciding map. They're going to play this as safe, or this could be, I should say, the deciding battle. Yep. They're going to play this extremely safe, and I wouldn't be at all surprised to see them just sit back and play D and play D and play D and just wait for an opponent to make a mistake, given that if they screw up, they're now out of the tournament. You
know what they're waiting for, man? The official release of the World of Airplanes. Oh, actually, wow, the T1 Cunninghams are attacking each other right now. But imagine if one of the World of Airplanes would come in right now and land some strikes.
That would definitely turn the tide of the battle. Or maybe a World of Warship battleship raining down.
Oh my God! Some massive
the Persian Gulf somewhere.
We're seeing a lot of pinging on the minimap for the blue team. Looks like they're trying to indicate to each other where they want to place in, and now they're going to be moving towards the train tracks. They're going to take it slowly, but the positioning of the light tank, knowing they're not going to push the castle and hit them from the side, they're going to creep up.
We see a couple of tanks being spotted now. Still Refusing to Die's T1 managing to spot the overall positioning of the entire Scurry Hard force, and I think we are going to see some movement resulting from this. Scurry Hard is making their way up the western side of the map, approaching that scout, and I'm a little bit surprised that we haven't seen more movement out of Still Refusing to Die in response to this push.
Well, this light tank's going to go down very, very quickly as the blue team is able to scout them. However, that's the information the red team needs to know what is happening on the west side of the map.
So they're going to position, they're going to protect their flag, obviously. I'm still curious to see if either of these two ones is ever going to fight.
These guys are pacifists, bro. They just want to be friends.
Yeah. You think they're drinking tea inside of the tank right now?
No, they're inside the church having a little tea party.
The tanks are actually parked, guys. They can do it.
Well, it looks like the little tank that could maybe pushing up on the side of the blue team.
Real movement here.
Uh-oh.
And first big shots getting fired, and heavy damage being dealt to Still Refusing to Die. Scurry Hard definitely got the better of that first volley of shots. Look at Scringly all the way down to just 300 hit points. He's going to have to back off. Oh, down to 42 hit points. One more shot, and he is done.
How are they doing that? They only had 2 tanks there in the start right now, but all of the IS-3s off, Still Refusing to Die, are actually very willing to die right now.
And finally, Kaneka gets lit up as well. He's going to back off with 115 hit points remaining. Still, the only deaths have been that single T1.
The T1 Son of Hill was getting some shots off in the back on the T69, unfortunately, was not able to penetrate.
And look at Rylac on the back with Justin Ward.
Oh, he's
they are locked in an epic struggle here. Justin taking some heavy damage, and he's going to end up going down. Justin Ward gets picked off. Rylac picking up an important kill. That's going to swing the tier advantage decisively in favor of Scurry. Oh, to the flank. T69 is waiting for Rylac. Rylac with a great angle, but no, he does not bounce that first shot. T69, Spell Shot managing to get a big kill there, bringing his team back even in points. And oh, wow, huge shots going down everywhere, but still a very even match.
Scringly is so low on HP, but as long as he's alive, he's able to deal a lot of damage. I mean, an IS-3 with 40 HP is as good as one with 1. He can still do the same amount of damage.
That's absolutely right. A tank. Oh my goodness, Ghost connects. And this could be bad news for Still Refusing to Die. Now they are down in tier 8. Am I counting right? I am.
Oh.
Or is it even?
Well, there goes the IS-3.
It's even.
There goes the IS-3, but the T69 is kind of sandwiched as well.
Oh,
Blasi getting a massive
doing
shot
work on the big flank, and now Dangling and Ghost in a really an awkward position.
That should have never happened. Dangling Fury should have protected the T69 over there. Ain't that right, Clutch?
Squirlin was holding down against the T69.
Again,
it's beautiful.
Blasi's going to be making the clutch plays here this match, shooting through the window, taking a big chunk out of Ghost.
It's like 4 against 2 right now. Dangling Fury is going to try to make a play on Blasi, but he's taking shots from every direction.
What? No, what? Blasi! Blasi, stop! Blasi's gonna go down, but so too does
the IS-3.
Does the IS-3 from above, Ghost, and that means Dangling Fury, the last man standing. He's got 2 T1s trying to. Oh, T1s!
Don't mess with Son of Hill.
Don't go that way. Those Hispano Suizas are gonna be shredding that AMX as well. Whoever's behind him, Kaneka connects again, cleaning up the last of Still Refusing to Die. Scurry Hard's gonna close it out 3-0 in exciting fashion. Excellent play there out of those guys, locking their spot for the Wargaming.net League North American World of Tanks competition. Very well done. Once more, let's hop over to the team score, the battle report, see exactly what the damage report is. Look at Blasi. That's all I'm gonna say. Look at Blasi.
Beautiful. Doing a lot of work there.
12 shots fired, 11 direct hits, 2,500 damage dealt. I dare say that might outweigh the damage dealt of almost the entire other enemy team. 2.5. Nope. Actually,
Dangling Fury alone
was
did
even
more
more
damage.
legit. 9 for 9 was Dangling Fury. Sadly, it was not enough.
Way to hype the wrong guy there, man.
You know what? The right guy is the guy that made the play that resulted in the win.
No, that's true. Blasi made some.
Maybe he does 200 less damage, but he clutched it.
I cannot understand though how Blasi was able to swing around there and get that shot off on the T69 while you had Dangling Fury.
Dangling Fury was there.
And it was either Ghost or Scringly. Now Scringly was already dead, so it was Ghost in the IS-3 and Dangling Fury. They could have protected that field. I guess they didn't see it, but there are holes in that wall. They could have shot, and that would be a massive shot from the side as well.
Could have been a completely different outcome. Clutch, what did you see from your observational expert point of view?
I saw a beautiful play indeed, gentlemen. Pushing up to the train station, taking out that light tank, the little tank that could on the blue side.
The little tank that couldn't on the red side.
Well, let's look at the engagement actually on that east side of the AB line. These two tanks right here pushed into this area. The red team thought, wait a second, we can get the flank on them if they push into our flag cap. So they thought, let's push this way. Well, the blue side had a beautiful flank ready for them, locking down this pathway, being able to do as much damage as they could against any tanks poking their head out here.
Yeah.
The red tanks were damaged. They had to fall back, but the blue tanks were able to clean them up. Beautiful play.
It looked really promising though for still refusing that for a split moment when they were rolling in with 3 heavy tanks on a row in that small alley. And you're like, man, if there's a tank right in front of them, that tank is going to get obliterated. It's going to die.
They all missed, and then they took all that damage, and all of a sudden, all that momentum screeches to a halt.
And also a big play was Squirrelin, who was locking it down the T-32. No cons playing the T-32. He was up against a T-69 and an IS-3. The IS-3 went down. The T-69 got the kill, or was about to get the kill, but Blazy, with that beautiful flank, was able to get the kill there. And that's a great way to play the T-32 tank. If you have to lock down a position and wait for reinforcements from your teammates, you can do so, and that's what happened in this match.
Very nicely done. Scurry Hard, our second team to qualify for the Wargaming.net League North American World of Tanks competition. We are going to kick it into a short break. Our next map, More Gold versus Game Over, should be a barn burner. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the WGL North America Season 1 qualifier. We are in our first of 2 qualifiers, and we have qualified 2 teams today, seeing River of Blood and Scurry Hard making it into the regular season. I am pretty excited to see how these two teams contend with the 8 invited teams from the World of Tanks MLCS. Is that the correct
Major League Championship Series Spring 2013 season?
Yep, we invited the top 8 teams from that event into this event, and it's exciting.
Right now, Ben, I only have one question: Savage or Blazy?
I gotta say, I think Savage is the better player today. Blazy has certainly held it down, but Savage consistently every single game, 4 kills, 2 kills, 2 kills. He was everywhere that he needed to be.
How do you feel, Clutch?
I think Savage is a great team leader when it came to his type of performance, consistently, as Ben said. But where it mattered, when Blazy came around that corner, was able to support his friend, that T-32. That is teamwork. And in a 7-on-7 matchup, we've seen other esports games, 1 versus 1, 5 versus 5. Those 2 other people on 7-on-7 on these type of maps, this type of gameplay. As a team leader, that's difficult to try to manage. But being able to have people that fulfill their role and they know where they need to be in order to get that kill is great teamwork. And also being able to sit in a lot of the team speaks of these different teams and to see how they communicate to each other is really crucial to have that communication consistently going. Even when you're dead, you have to realize, I need to be quiet. I can't be cursing right now knowing that I'm dead. I need to let my team continue on without me. And it's a tough call, but I still think the MVP is going to go to Savage.
I'm feeling the same way, man. Savage is my man so far. I don't want to follow up. But that's, I think, what's the coolest thing about these qualifiers. We are still very new to the game, but above all, we are very new to the players, to these pro teams. Or at least we invited a couple of pro teams. They're going to be part of the regular season. But in the qualifier, we really don't know all that many of these guys. I mean, maybe you might have heard Rukil drop a name or 2 here and there, but we haven't seen them play yet. So this is actually really fun. And those are definitely guys that I want to keep track on. And I'm very curious to see who's going to be the star player of the next matchup. We got 2... hopefully excellent teams against each other again once more.
Well, I think it's safe to say that at this point, all the teams remaining are very good. And the Turtle Police guys sort of spoke to that when we interviewed them previously, saying, hey, you guys invited 8 very good teams, but we don't necessarily think that they're the best 8 teams. Pretty bold words, in my opinion. And I want to see how it pans out. We're going to be joined on the set by somebody you guys might know a little bit more than us, StarCraft nerds, because, that's how most people know Roddy and me.
That's what we are.
But we've got a true World of Tanks champion sitting to our left. It is the one, the only, the man in the hat. Hello, Rukil.
Who always dies when we platoon first.
How's it going, guys?
Rukil, we brought you here as the pro, the expert, the man to teach us how to play the game. You platooned with Rotterdam and me, and we lost like half of our games. And then Rotterdam and me platooned without you, and we won like 12 in a row.
Comment?
Can you speak to that?
Well, you guys like to camp. Really, really
Are you
hard.
kidding me? We are like least campy players. We showed you the replays.
I had to
Rue,
just yell at you guys forward.
I'm gonna have to unmic
all
this
the
guy.
time.
He's just spreading lies.
So slow. All the time.
Spreading lies. This is you're misrepresenting us.
Replays or it never happened, Ru.
I've got tons of replays.
Oh,
we've got 12 winning replays in a row.
Yes.
Yeah. I had some pretty good games though. I still came out 77% in our 77% for today. Playing my style, aggressive, take control of the map, do some cool stuff. That's how you play in pubs. I mean, that's the best way, I think, to play in pubs. Some people think you can play slow. You can snipe.
I
But
feel like he's mislabeling us.
I don't know. I think you guys could be. Well, there was that one game you played an M7 today. That was good. That was aggressive. Went right across the middle of what was that?
Mountain Pass.
That was good. I liked that. That was actually really nice. You took control of the map and you set the tone. It was 15, people in the match, but you set the tone.
And I killed 12 of them.
You did not kill 12 of them.
Oh, well, practically.
You're
you
exaggerating.
killed 1, Ben.
I killed 3. or
3
2,
is not 12.
But it was practically 12. It might as well have been 12.
You know,
He took out a heavy.
it sounds so foreign when you say that Rotterdam camped, because usually before you came to the office, we would hear Frodan and Ben go, "Roddy, what are you doing? You're by yourself." He's like, "I got this, guys. I got this, YOLO," and he'll be in the enemy
He's
camp.
on
We going,
the
guys?
road
We
to
going?
greatness. On the road to greatness.
Right, if you go and look up all of our stats on the Noob Meter, which is a really fun World of Tanks stat tracking website, you guys should all check it out if you're not familiar with it. If you go and you look up the stats of all the guys working on this broadcast, you will find that Rotterdam 08 has the best stats in the last 7 days.
That could be true.
it-
I have
Roddy's right? Is that
I've barely gotten to
Yes.
play in the last 7 days.
Just saying, just putting it out
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
Put it out there. Like 62% win rate.
M3 Stewart, a KV1.
I
with,
was
with gold shells, guys, don't get me wrong.
So, Ru, I got to ask, why the hell are you out here? Why are you on the set? What are you doing?
Today? Well, they asked me to come out, and I guess maybe we could talk about some of the matches. I mean, some of it, there was a lot of 3-0s. That was kind of confusing for me.
Have you been watching the games? Have you had a
Yeah,
chance to enjoy them?
I'm in the back adminning, making sure everybody's kept up. Right now I'm not because I'm here, but the guys are getting together. We have a few guys. We're scheduled at 8, so it's going to be a few minutes before they can show up. So we're gonna maybe we could discuss those 3-0s. I was kind of surprised to see that Scurry took 3. I mean, I was thinking maybe we'd see 3-1, maybe 3-2, but it only went to 3 games. That
Why is it
was-
that you think they performed so well compared to still refusing to die?
I'm actually really not sure. It was kind of chaotic. Like Prokhorovka, that you guys were talking about, the WZ chasing the Tech 2. That was, you guys were exactly right about that. The WZ should have backed off, and
I like
that
this.
was such a key, crucial part of that whole match. If he had just chased the T-52 away and then maybe come back for the fight while the T-52 was trying to still return to the fight, he probably could have gotten out some good damage, maybe soaked up a shell or 2.
So what you're saying is that the Roddy and Bitter play style was probably superior in that kind of a situation.
That wasn't your play style. You just analyzed the situation properly.
We wouldn't have got that far, Ben. We would have got sniped
Wait,
in the
are you kidding me? We would have 2v7. We got this.
I would've-
Any team in this tournament, 2v7.
No, Ru, I just want to know.
I declare a team. I'll set something up.
I'll commentate that. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Well, within
Gauntlet
that,
drop. Let's go, Fulcrum.
Fulcrum.
You
All
guys
right.
are watching.
Here, I'll go find Naga when I'm in the back. Naga's watching the stream. Naga,
Alright.
the challenge has been issued.
All right, so here's the deal. Me and Roddy get to roll in tier 7s. You guys are in tier 1s.
Okay. You got that, Naga? You writing this one down? Okay,
I
so
don't think he'll agree to that. Let's see.
I'm serious. We're gonna do this.
No.
That'll be
Well,
fun.
what did you think about some of the plays that we saw from the guys that we highlighted a little bit, like Savage in that first series, in the first Clan War? I thought he played really well. If you look at it like from a more expert point of view, did you agree with most of his plays and his moves?
You're gonna have to reiterate that one for me. I think I might have been trying to make sure the matches were ready to go and everything.
Well, Savage was rolling
do
in the
that more.
AMX 1390 a lot
Yes.
and making some really clutch plays in situations where it was literally him and 1 or 2 other guys.
You're right. That was him chasing down the TAC 2 and killing him.
Yes.
Yeah, that was some good play. He missed a few shots, I think, right?
He missed a few shots, but he got him in the end.
In the end.
Even LeBron misses a shot once in a while. Ru.
Hey, in a 1390, you got an autoloader, so you got to make those shots count. It was well played, but places to improve are he probably could have gotten more of those shots, waited, timed those shots when he had the best chance to hit.
One
So,
thing is for sure, he hit more shots than the WZ-132.
that he did.
We can all agree on that.
All
It
right.
seemed overall in that last series that Scurry Hard was really playing the patient game. And that's pretty crucial. Roddy, you had mentioned before, they're kind of waiting till the 5-minute mark before they actually make the engagement. But at that 5 minutes, they feel they're set up, ready to go, and they push into the train station, the train depot, that last match, and they were completely prepared for what Red was going to try to do to counter them. In your experience playing a lot of matches online, playing at South by Southwest, is it really tough to play the patient game, or is it a really good strategy that you like to play?
I personally, I know it's wrong, but I hate waiting until 5 minutes are left in the match, because you should be trying to do something with with that entire portion of the match that you're just sitting there. You should be trying to gain some ground, trying to see what kind of advantages you can get. Now, there's risks that you're taking, but you can't get any rewards without risking something. You're going to have to risk getting shot to try and get something. But there's little things that all of these teams can improve on, which is like trying to utilize their T1s in combination with those tier 8s. So they could be doing a little bit more to be more proactive in each of their matches.
Everybody always has room to grow. Ru, I want to thank you for coming out and talking with us on the set for a little while. We're going to send you back into the back to make sure our next matches happen.